You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Let's find out what's up, with Nick Pagliochini.
What's up, guys? Well, I want to start out with talking about 85 Degrees Cafe, which is what you guys have enjoyed so far. So you tried the pineapple. Okay, so 85 Degrees in 2003, the founder, who is from Taiwan, opened up a bakery that had approachable items in the Asian Pacific Rim for the quality and caliber of a 5-star restaurant, but affordable for everybody to be able to enjoy. Then in 2008, brought it here to Southern California, to Irvine, was when they opened their very first outlet here in the United States. And so there are over 1,000 locations nationwide. This is a shout out to the crew that's over off of Brand Boulevard in Glendale, who all of our goodies tonight came from. But it's a celebration of food and friends and family, but I think that's it. So let me take and back up just a little bit, talking about Lunar New Year. We kind of teased it before, but to get a little bit more in depth, it's a celebration of a lot of Asian community, countries. Realistically, I mean, China, Vietnam, Korea, you name it, it's all covered. And here in Southern California, we have the largest Vietnamese community outside of Vietnam, which is based between Garden Grove, Westminster, and parts of Santa Ana, and a little bit of Seal Beach and all that. But so this year, it is beginning tomorrow, the 29th of January, is when Lunar New Year begins. And this goes off of the lunar calendar. So you think, okay, we're already well into the new year of the Gregorian calendar, of the calendar that we're used to, January through December. This is going off of the lunar calendar. So that starts and it runs for about 15 days, right around February 12th, which is where the Lantern Festival in a lot of these cultures will be celebrated. That's kind of as the culmination. So it's bringing it all together. But going back to 85 Degrees, they have this unique blend of different cultural items. So the thing, and Twala is reading it right now. I don't know. But there's lots of things. So there's some specific treats. So if you think about Christmas, you think about Christmas cookies. When you think about Halloween, it's all about candy. When you think about Valentine's Day, maybe candy again, or, something that's heart-shaped. There's very specific sweets and food items that are celebrated around it. Dumplings, which represent wealth. Think of a dumpling as a little purse that holds coins or a wealth. Fish is always served, which represents prosperity culturally for them. But there's a lot of baked goods, including the pastry that I've got, which is a golden yolk, the yolk of an egg, inside of sweet bean paste in a pastry.
Egg yolk is very prominent in Asian cuisine.
It is. And I think it's really, really interesting because of, the price of eggs has been a big topic here. But this is something that also, again, kind of shows that prosperity and that wealth and everything in that regard. But Lunar New Year is a big family reunion time period for a lot of cultural tie-ins there. And also you'll see a lot of red and gold, and it represents fortune. And this is the time of year, if you think about kids getting their stockings at Christmas, well, kids get red envelopes here. And that's where they usually have wealth. There's a couple of bucks in there, maybe tickets to Disneyland or something fun like that. For Southern California, it's very different. But it's a way to celebrate and to continue the older generations passing on the wealth and prosperity to the newer generations is really what boils down to with it. But here in Southern California, we've got a lot of things going on, including we've already covered the things that are happening right now. But the Huntington Library over in San Marino is going to be having a special celebration this weekend. Also, Chinatown here in Los Angeles will have their Golden Dragon Parade, which is epic. It's been around for over 40 years. If you have not been, both the Huntington Library requires admission to the library, but all of the events inside are free 99 when you get there. And
wait. Did you say free 99?
I said free 99.
Okay, just want to be sure.
Oh, there we go. Chinatown's Golden Dragon Parade is free 99, and that is great. There's so much. If you have not been to, the Tet Festival, which happens in Garden Grove in Orange County, that is the big culmination of the Vietnamese community. It's amazing. It's epic. You can get details about everything I'm talking about at the link in bio at Nick Pagliochini this weekend with Nick on Instagram. Also in Orange County, Irvine Spectrum will be having celebrations this weekend. Riverside County has their Lunar New Year festivities in downtown Riverside. And then San Bernardino and Ventura counties also have smaller community gatherings, which start tomorrow and pretty much run over the next 15 days. So it's one of those things that this is kind of that addition to celebrating the new year, which I think is great. I think it's really fun because there's so much that we don't realize. We go out to dinner and we have that favorite spot we like to go to, our favorite Thai place, our favorite Chinese. What? No,
it's good. Like Burger King, Denny's.
I don't know what we're celebrating there on Christmas, but I'm just saying, like, this is the thing for me that I've loved, especially being in Long Beach. We have a very large community of, immigrants that have incredible restaurants that have been around long before I was even thought of. And they are just parts of the fabric of the community. And going back to, raising money and everything else we've talked about with FireAid, these are the organizations that have been like, oh, I've got people in the SGV, San Gabriel Valley and Altadena, and they've been raising money quietly and sending it to help support all of the fires. So this is also a time of celebration, but it's a time for community to come together. And I think that's really one of the most significant things that I like to celebrate, is just because I love good food. I mean, Lord knows, as Neil Saavedra says, look at my waistline. I mean, enough said there. But no, it's a opportunity to come and share your wealth of knowledge and food and experience. For me, anyway.
We'll have more with Nick Pagliochini in just a moment as we find out what else is up with Nick.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Nick Pagliochini. Last call when Nick is on to tell you all what to do. Nick Pagliochini. Last call when Nick is on with $3.99 for you. Nick Pagliochini. Last call when Nick is on, he'll tell us all what we're in this weekend. Last call when Nick is on, this weekend is up to you.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly, and now with Nick Pagliochini. What's up with Nick? And I hate it when he comes in studio because he always brings some food, some delicious food, which damns my diet all to hell.
I was going to say, so, Fork Reporter's on the weekend, and 15-minute foodie, he comes on Tuesday nights. So it's kind of like that Santa Claus during the week thing. Getting back into it, wanted to talk about why I wasn't here last week. So I wasn't with you guys because I was over at Disney doing a couple of things, including something for Lunar New Year. So Soul Sister is one of 3 restaurants that you can visit at
SOL?
SEOUL.
As in Korea, okay.
As in Seoul, Korea. Which is Chef Kelly Kim, who is absolutely incredible, and you can find her on my Instagram. Again, Nick Pagliochini, this weekend with Nick. Or 15-minute foodie, actually, because it's the food-related stuff. But she has what I'm going to call, and this in the nicest way possible, it's the Chipotle of Korean food. So you can go, and it's at Downtown Disney, so it does not require you to go into the theme parks at Disney. So if you want to get a little bit of a Disney fix, that's always a good thing, because there is no admission cost for Downtown Disney. But last week, they had the grand opening. Levy Restaurant Group out of Chicago has 3 brand new restaurants and a bar that opened at Downtown Disney, right across from Din Tai Fung. So if you're familiar with Din Tai Fung, which also is a great thing, the secret on this one is go to the one in the SGV, the San Gabriel Valley, because it's cheaper than the Disney location. But the Disney location is absolutely gorgeous and stunning and well worth you visiting. The food is delicious, and they do have a few items on their menu for Din Tai Fung there that are only available at Downtown Disney. So it is worth making that special trip. But across the Esplanade from there, you can enjoy Soul Sister. So Chef Kelly Kim has poured in the last 3 years of her life to develop out this restaurant, and it is where you'll be able to get the flavors of Korea in a Chipotle-style bowl. And so they do rice bowls, and they do with proteins, and we did fried tofu, which is absolutely incredible. So if you're looking for that more vegan or vegetarian kind of idea. But they also have beef bowls, bulgogi. There's all sorts of things that were delicious there for you to try out. But also was at Disney because Valentine's Day is just around the corner. So I think on top of it, there's so much happening. This is what's crazy to come out of the holiday season, coming out of December, coming out of everything that happened last year. And then we go right into natural disaster and more celebrations, which is just insane to me to think, because we were just talking off the air. The Grammys are right around the corner too.
Yeah.
So, which is, they're here. They're on Sunday night.
Sunday, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, if you're an award season person, it's time. That's the first. No, that's not even the first. We had the Golden. What do we have? The Golden Globes.
Golden Globes. Mm-hmm.
So we've had 2 award shows, or will have had 2 award shows already, knocking it out first thing. Just wild. But anyway, so you can head over to Downtown Disney. Also, Sip and Sonder, which is
I like that.
It's a great place. They now have a location at Downtown Disney, which is very exciting. So that's kind of wild.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it just opened. Like,
Okay.
It's been open since last year, but it just had its grand opening last week. So Sip and Sonder, which you and I both know,
Right.
very specifically, it is a Black female-owned business. Two really close friends are business partners, and they are partnering with the Levy Restaurant Group out of Chicago for their location at Downtown Disney. So yeah, I mean, it was really, really amazing to be able to last week in among everything else that was going on here in Southern California, being able to get together and celebrate with two incredible local businesses, both with Chef Kim and then with the team from Sip and Sonder. And then there's a new boy in town, if you will, but it's more so his mom, Jerry, that I want to talk about. Gigi's Chicken Stop, which is brought to you by, and I apologize, Chef, I do not recall your last name right now because you're out of Chicago. You're not one of our local boys. But yeah, Michelin-starred chef that has a chicken stop, which is legit kind
Sounds
of
good.
Oh, we'll go.
You just make me all hungry. And
but we
everything.
can go. See, all this stuff we can go because we don't need a pass to go into the park.
I know.
We can
I
go to
know.
Downtown Disney before we come and do later. Like, that's easy.
You're trying to make me gain 35 pounds.
Well, I'll share it with you. Then,
Okay,
then
17
it'll-
and a half.
17 and a half. It'll be fine. We'll be good with that.
I'll help.
Okay, you'll help out?
Will you drive us there?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. There we go. We have a chauffeur. even.
Mark, are you going to pitch in? Probably not.
Well, of course, yeah, sure.
That sounds
Mark,
sincere.
what are you eating over there?
Sure, yeah. I had a chicken Caesar salad so that I don't become pear-shaped, and I'm not going to drop any names here.
Wow. But didn't you have something from 85 Degrees?
I brought something in here. I couldn't identify it, though. I told Mo it looked like that thing that flew across the room in the Star Trek episode and landed on Spock's ass. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so that is going to be a spicy sausage.
But he knew what you were
pastry.
talking about.
That's
I-
awesome.
I specifically knew that. So, again, going back to 85 Degrees, they have some really good savory options for you as well. And this is one of those things that if you happen to be going to maybe the Lunar New Year Festival at Disney California Adventure, if you happen to be attending the parks, you can try. They have a Mickey-shaped version of this that has sausage, spicy sausage in the, like a pretzel kind of ideas.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little boat with a sausage in the middle.
Exactly. There you go. And a much better description now.
A boat with sausage?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, let's take this for a test drive.
Wow. All right. So anyway, there's a lot going on in and around Southern California this weekend. To kind of recap a little bit of what we talked about, you will be able to celebrate a lot of different things that are around. And I have completely remiss of saying that it's the year of the snake. So the Chinese zodiac is what is usually followed. This year, you can see I'm wearing a
Yeah,
shirt.
yes.
I have a shirt from Tea Turtle that is from the year of the snake. But yeah, so you have 12 animals for the years, or the different zodiacs, and this is from over 2,000 years ago, from the dynasty from 2,000 years ago. But rat, which if you were at Disney, was the mouse. Ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat. Do you know what yours is?
I can't remember. I think
Because I'm a rooster.
I'm a rat.
Are you?
Sagittarius.
Okay.
69.
I don't know. We'd have to.
I'm a dragon.
Everybody's eating.
What? This is what happens. We like to have a good time here. What are you eating, Stefouche?
The ham and cheese thing,
Yeah.
it's so good because it's like you don't expect, like you already told me it's going to be savory, but it has like this coating on the outside. I don't know what it is, but it's like eating like a cloud and then there's ham and cheese inside. It's delicious.
Yeah. So it's like a croissant.
Yeah.
It's glazed calories. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Love it.
But here, I always do my best to take as many calories away when I come in here to later. So
Read that package.
I
there
know.
for
So
Chihuahua.
I was going to say, so if you were with us not too long ago, or you happen to be playing this back on the podcast, you've already heard about the Golden Yolk Red Bean Pastry. And this is celebrating prosperity and wealth at its utmost, including the calories.
It's about the size of a small cupcake.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, it's a golf ball. Like,
Yeah.
truly, it's just ever so slightly larger than a golf ball. And it is 360 calories,
One serving?
one serving.
Okay.
Oh gosh, can you imagine?
Just got to be sure.
What's really cool about this, it has a whole yolk inside of it. So it's very sweet and savory, kind of that combo, which I know is you're not a fan of that.
It's all right.
Okay.
You get it right eventually.
No, I just keep bringing Oreo cookies and cream, and we're good.
We're good.
I know
Can't go
exactly.
wrong
I
with
know,
that.
I know how to get to you. But yeah, sodium. This pretty much has your daily offering of all things you need: cholesterol, sodium, carbs, you name it. It's all in this one incredible little golden golf ball.
One meal for the day.
one meal for the day. But it's a great way to celebrate. So that's it. It was just kind of a little haphazard this week, but that's it. There's a lot of things for you to do. Again, you can find me on social media. I am pretty darn active there. It's been a little bit crazy with the fires going on. I've been running between the Palisades and the San Gabriel Valley and doing what I can to help out. So I haven't been nearly as active with all the fun reels and all the different posts and everything else. It's a lot. Social media, which we really hugely appreciate you following us and liking and subscribing if you have YouTube like I do. But all those things, it's great to have it there. But again, it's Nick Pagliochini this weekend with Nick. Or if you just want the food without the calories and all the guilt, 15-minute foodie is where you can always find that.
Have you decided where you're going to go to next? As far as food, have you?
For next week?
Yeah. Do you have a target list?
I do. Do you have something you want me to do? Do you have a place? Do you have requests?
Do they have cookies and cream there?
Oh, it's funny. They usually have a cookies and cream bun, and they were sold out at 85 degrees.
I know why.
I know, but I know you well enough. Anyway, yes, I will make sure that there is cookies and cream somewhere here. In fact, funny enough, Ben & Jerry's has a good cookies and cream, and Ben & Jerry's has been, putting out some new fun things. So I might bring some ice cream.
Look, look, Thrifty's ice cream, cookies and cream is enough for me.
Okay, well now you're asking for a 5-gallon tub, but I can do that.
And
nothing's wrong with that.
Okay, just
I don't know what Level Head is going to say about
that. Give me 35 pounds to work with, and let me earn it.
I have to deal with your wife with those 35 pounds. She has my number. She will text me. You know she will.
You're telling way too much of my business. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Get out.
I'm out. I'm gone. I'll see you next week.
We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We were talking about FireAid over the course of the evening, the benefit concert, which is going to be at Intuit Dome and Kia Forum simultaneously on Thursday. And then we kind of realized in the studio, yeah, that kind of makes sense, if only because everyone's in town for the Grammys. When we say Grammys, there's a whole week long of events, so they call it Grammy Week. It makes it easier logistically for all these artists to perform at FireAid. But also, it begs another question. And I say that only to make Mark mad because he hates when I use that idiom and phrase. Got to turn on your mic if you're going to yell at me and insult me.
I would never do such a thing because, say it with me, I respect you too much.
I love you too. Anyhow, with FireAid going on, and we were listing all the great acts who are performing, I wonder if the Grammys, and I could call some people over there, but it'd probably make them mad. I wonder if the Grammys are like, hey, you're kind of stealing our thunder. You have all these great acts who are going to be performing on TV, mind you. I'd be willing to bet that some of the artists are going to be performing pretty much what they might be performing during the Grammy Awards. Some form, some fashion. Nick, you haven't gone anywhere. You're allowed to jump in.
Okay, thanks.
You were nodding your head. I appreciate being respectful and everything.
You were correct.
And I told you to get out the studio, but you never left. So it's not like you're going to listen to me anyhow, so you might as well just stay here the rest of the show.
I mean, yeah, what can I say?
But I do wonder whether the Grammys are saying like, damn, guys, you're stepping on our toes. We have this great show, which is going to be televised on Sunday. We want everyone to be anticipating our show. Don't get us wrong. We love Fire Relief.
Of course.
But the Grammys, and I know this from working there, their whole year is predicated on this one event and the ratings connected to it. They sell the ad time. They need the ratings to do better than in more recent years. We know how award shows have struggled. I can't imagine that they're happy about any show stealing their thunder. Let's say it wasn't FireAid. Let's say it was the American Music Awards. Let's say it was the Soul Train Music Awards. Any award show where you're going to be not stealing, but you're going to be having a lot of overlap in artists who are going to perform the same songs. Don't get me wrong. If they're going to perform their hits, they're going to perform their more recent hits, the stuff that you probably would hear on the Grammys. Yes, the performances may be different because you'll have the full band behind them, or there may be a pairing of a rock artist and a gospel artist or something because they love to mismatch performers. But other than that, I would be concerned if I were the Grammys.
But here's my question, and it goes to what we talked about earlier, is with the FireAid specific, that gives such a different and unique opportunity for, as we talked, like Tuwala had said, with the acoustic versions or the different breaks of these. And I'm hoping, as you guys have already touched on, and with all your background and knowledge and experience of having worked with award shows before, that the FireAid will hopefully be a different enough set against what's going to be with the Grammys that it will be so different. I'm hoping, and I agree, I think the acoustic sounds perfect with it, but it's one of those scenarios where I really hope that, again, I understand not wanting to steal the thunder, but I'm hoping it's going to be so different. And so, because the thing, this is already, it started as one event or one location with the Intuit Dome. It expanded to just down the block to back to the Kia Forum, which we're used to having events like this. So this is a whole different ball game.
It's a different ball game, but I think about the casual viewer who said, well, I just saw Billie Eilish because they're televising FireAid on so many platforms and networks. It's going to be pretty hard to miss Billie Eilish's performance if you want to see it. You may be less inclined to tune in to the Grammys. Like, oh, Billie Eilish is performing in. Oh, yeah, she performed that same song 3 days ago. I just wonder.
No. I think you have a very valid point. I think that it makes perfect sense what you're saying. I just hope that it's going to be, again, wall to wall on Thursday, and then come Sunday, you'll have a whole different ball game, and it will be those already set up pairings between different artists and different genre of music and everything else, which we will already be seeing on Thursday in a very different light.
Very different light. I cannot wait to see the combined ratings, because they're on so many platforms, and viewership numbers for FireAid, which is truly a special event. It's not like they're going to have it next year. Heaven forbid they do. Hopefully not. This is not an annual occurrence. So the momentum and excitement, if you will, all things considered, is for FireAid. One, it is emotionally more relevant.
Sure.
People are thinking about the fires, and it also happens before the Grammys.
And the real quick thing that I'm just kind of popped in my head as we're speaking about this now, do you think, We Are the World, do you think that they'll put something together special, unique at FireAid maybe? Like that?
Okay, if you're not old enough to remember We Are the World, they had this group of musicians who came together on the occasion of the American Music Awards, in which Lionel Richie was hosting. And Lionel Richie coordinated all these artists, from Michael Jackson, actually Quincy Jones coordinated all these artists to come together. Quincy Jones, Willie Nelson, Cyndi Lauper, Al Jarreau.
Every genre, every person that had anything at that point in
Kenny
time.
Rogers, the biggest music names in the world. And the only way they could coordinate it was specifically during the American Music Awards. And they met after the American Music Awards and then recorded We Are the World. It was an opportunistic endeavor because they were all in town together, and they went until 4 a.m. What Nick is asking, well, you have all these artists together, presumably under the same reason, umbrella, auspices. Why not record something specific? All these artists together at some point where you get something like this. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We'll catch up with George Nora in just a moment. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Coming up in just a few moments, we'll be Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, and he joins me right now. Good evening, sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kelly. That was very kind of you.
It's very true, too. I meant every word.
Got a great show tonight. We're going to talk about parapsychology, and later on, how to stay healthy in this tough world.
Yeah, how do I stay healthy?
Tune in for the last 2 hours and find out. And stop smoking.
Oh, that's something I never started doing. I think it's a generational thing. My parents smoked until they were 40 and stopped. I never had any desire to smoke. I never smoked.
Good for you.
Talk soon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Hey, Ronner, did you ever smoke regularly?
No, I tried, and I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to because all my friends did, and I was the outcast, but it didn't take.
Yeah, even though I was growing up in a household where both my parents smoked, and my older sister started smoking for a while, I never had any desire. Maybe it was just the smell of cigarettes. I never gravitated toward it. I can tell people I had one cigarette in my life, and I was working in the music business, went to New York, and fellow record executive was smoking. Of course, I had plenty to drink. And so I said, what's the whole deal with cigarettes? And she said something to the effect of, well, it gives you a slight little buzz. And I said, okay, well, let me just smoke one cigarette. I smoked a whole cigarette, and it was clear to everyone around us that I had never smoked before. I didn't hold the cigarette correctly or something because they were laughing at me. And I did it, didn't get anything out of it, never did it again.
It's terrible. It tastes terrible. Kissing someone who's been smoking is terrible.
Yep.
And I grew up with that smell in my house because I grew up with my grandparents. They smoked. When my mom was around, she smoked. And when you haven't been around that for a long time and you smell it, say, walking down to the garage or something, it really smacks you.
Well, not only that, it gets in your clothes, it gets in your bedding, and it's almost like impossible to remove that scent. And I don't have a strong sense of smell, but I'm very, very aware of someone who smokes.
Not Always. A lot positive about it. I mean, it looks cool in old movies, but they don't tell you in those movies that, it shaved 15 years off the person's life.
Most definitely. It generationally, it's completely, it's foreign to anyone under the age of 30. Now, there may be people who smoke, but I'm saying if you're over the age of 45, 50, you remember a time in which everybody smoked. It was just everywhere by everyone. Now it's much different. When I travel, when I was in Asia, I saw a lot of people smoking. Certain parts of Europe, a lot of people smoking, but less so, obviously, here in the United States.
Oh, yeah. Like, nobody looked cooler smoking than Humphrey Bogart. But you got to remember, he died at age of 57, okay?
I know, which scares the bejesus out of me because it's like, wait a minute, Humphrey Bogart was only like a year and a half older than me.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for these things. The things that look cool in movies and with your friends out on the corner, they can kill you fast.
Yeah. I don't have that thrill seeker streak in me. Never did. Now, I've done a lot of stupid things looking back in retrospect, but it wasn't like I was out there trying to do really stupid and dangerous things. You get old and you realize, wow, that was really dumb.
Yeah, but I've seen photos of you, with stuff you've eaten and things like that with your group, your martial arts cult. You seem like the cigar type to me.
No,
just admit it.
I'm being very serious. I've had plenty of invitations to go to cigar lounges. I've never had a cigar in my life. Okay, I like the smell of a cigar.
You like the smell?
I actually do. And growing up, I love the smell of a pipe. People don't smoke pipes anymore, but a true pipe, like the smell of it. Never had any desire to actually put one in my mouth.
Time for the news.
I hate you.
I guess we're a little early, aren't we?
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Critical thinkers wanted.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.